Hello, and welcome to another episode of Who's Gonna Be a POD Millionaire, where we test the knowledge of industry experts. Last time we had Christina Umaraz, who answered 12 questions correctly, so our next guest definitely has his work cut out for him. You've probably seen him sharing his expertise on YouTube about all things POD and Shopify. You might even be a POD ninja yourself, the one and only Joe Robert. Hey, Joe.
Hey, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited to try and become a POD millionaire today.
Yes, I love to hear that. So before we get into these questions, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been in POD? What makes you think you could be the next POD millionaire?
So I started my first store in 2016. I hope that at this point I've learned enough to answer some of your questions today. I've seen a lot with POD, growing from when it was primarily just t-shirts and apparel products, and now we have lots of other really cool things. So I think I've maybe learned a decent amount that I can maybe answer some questions today for you.
Okay, well, it sounds like you're definitely ready. So here's how it's going to work. You've got 15 questions to answer. They're gonna get progressively harder as we go. But if you get one wrong, then you're out. However, we want you to get as far as possible, of course, so we're gonna give you 2 lifelines. Either a 50-50 where we'll remove 2 of the incorrect answers, or you can call an expert. So we have our expert Talish online. Are you ready to get started?
I'm ready.
So, question number 1 then. What does AOP stand for? All over product, all over print provider, all over print, or all over Printify?
I'm gonna go with C, all over print.
Yes, and we're not gonna drag this first question out. Easy peasy, you got this one.
Nice. I remember you saying that you would be shocked if I got the first one wrong, and I would be shocked as well. But there's a lot of people that jump into print on demand and don't know that one. But AOP, all over print, one question in the bag. So let's go.
All right, question number 2. Which is not considered a home and living product? Pillows, underwear, mugs, towels.
I'm gonna go with B, underwear. Final answer.
Final answer B. And that is correct.
Awesome. You got me nervous for a second. You hesitated, and I was like, wait a minute.
I mean, you do wear underwear in the home,
True.
but is it a home and living product? Maybe not.
True.
Very good. Okay, moving on to question number 3. In an Etsy listing, what should you use all 13 of to describe your product? Tags, attributes, title characters, or categories?
So this one potentially could be the one that makes Joe Robert lose, who wants to be a POD millionaire. And I don't know why I talked about myself in the third person right there. So maybe we can edit that out or keep it in because it might have been funny. But I have not really a lot of experience with Etsy. I know that perhaps there's something on Etsy called categories. I don't think title characters or attributes is a real thing. I know that a lot of times we will describe our product via tags as well, but categories and tags seem to be the ones that potentially could be correct here. I would assume if there are 13 of them, that might mean that they are preloaded, meaning Etsy maybe came up with them for us to sort of fit our product into, which would make me think it's not tags, because most of the time with tags, you're typing that in and you're coming up with it. And a category would be something preloaded. And you said I have a... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you've got 2 lifelines. You can either do that 50-50 or you can call our expert.
Sure. So the one thing that's interesting though is, let's say that there was 13 categories. inside of Etsy available to you. Those could be very broad categories that might not apply to your product. So it wouldn't be smart to use those, because if I was selling underwear, which is not a home and living product like we just established, I wouldn't want to select home and living as a category. So I'm assuming this is mainly trying to make sure that my product will show up in search results, that I can maximize my SEO efficiency. I'm going to risk it all here. I'm going to save my lifeline. I'm going to go with A tags final answer.
A tags final answer. You really walked yourself through that one and you led yourself to the correct answer. Moving on to question number 4. What is it called when a customer can submit their own design, text, or photo for a product? A, product customization. B, product personalization. C, product niching. Or D, personal branding? This
is a question I get a lot from people that I work with. They'll say, hey, what's the difference between customization and personalization? And I always answer it and say, there's not really that much of a difference here, but really we're using the term personalization to make the product personal to the customer. So I'm gonna go with B, product personalization, final answer.
B, final answer. Yes, you nailed that one on the head.
Great.
And so, yeah, you're right. Personalization is more what the customer can do. Customization is kind of what you do as the seller to make those products part of your brand. Moving on to question number 5. What type of shirt color is typically made by blending 2 or more different colored fibers? Solid, vintage, heather, or slub?
I actually had the answer in my head before you gave me them. The answer is C, heather. Final answer.
Final answer, C, heather. Yes, you knew that one right away.
Yeah, I actually had a brief moment of panic after I said that, because I was like, oh gosh, imagine if that's wrong and I just came into that as confident as I did.
Oh, but you got it. That one was easy. All right.
Awesome.
They're only going to get harder from here. You ready to keep going?
Right. I'm ready. Yeah, let's do it. I still got 2 lifelines though. So.
That's right. Question number 6. What type of keyword typically has a lower search volume, but often a higher conversion rate? A, head keyword. B, lead keyword. C, short tail keyword. Or D, long tail keyword?
So this is another question that if you're someone that's big in the Etsy space or eBay or anything like that, you're likely going to know this immediately. But I'm a Shopify guy, and I don't necessarily focus too much on SEO. Not that you couldn't, but most of it is social media driven. And I would assume if it's a lower search keyword, but something with a higher conversion rate, I would assume this is a situation where it would be, like a more subtle way for someone to find your product, meaning maybe it's a little bit more vague compared to like the main point of what you're doing, but it's also a little bit more specific in a way, so it has a higher conversion rate. I would assume it's not lead keyword. I would assume it's, I have no idea actually. Let me, my gut's telling me short tail, because I don't know why actually. Maybe lower search volume, short tail. Maybe those phrases go together. I don't think it's lead, and I don't think it's head keywords, because I think those symbolize like a main one. And I think long tail keyword is perhaps I don't know, not really the best one either. Let me let's do a 50-50 here, and we'll see what you guys leave and take away, and maybe it'll help me.
Okay, so you're gonna use your 50-50 here. So the answer is not a head keyword, and it is not a short tail keyword.
Good thing I didn't Good thing I didn't. Good thing I. So it's not those. So that means it's lead or it's long tail. Is that right? It's one of those two. It's B or D. Jeez, you guys, this is a tough one. I don't think it's lead keyword, because I think if it was lead keyword, then it wouldn't have a lower search volume. So I'm going to go with D, long tail keyword. Final answer.
Long tail keyword, final answer. Yes, you got it. So I saw you sweat that one a little bit.
I almost had to call you, Talish, and see if you could help me out on that one.
You said a word at one point where I thought it was going to lead you to it where it's specific. So you're right that a long tail keyword will be a little bit more specific, and that's why it's less searched. But the people that do search those, they kind of know what they want, right? That's why it's so specific, and they're like, yeah, I'm going to buy this. I know exactly what I want.
Sort of like on YouTube, if someone was typing in like how to start a print-on-demand store versus how to start a Printify pop-up shop, for example.
Exactly. You know what you want. You're more likely to buy it or do that thing. All right. Whew. So we can take a breather real quick.
Yes.
Awesome. You ready to keep going for question 7?
Yeah. Yep, I'm ready. I'm kind of nervous that I lost one of my lifelines. I'm not even halfway
but you got
through.
another one. You got another one still, and it's a great one.
Okay.
Question number 7. Which e-commerce platform currently leads the market in the US? WooCommerce, BigCommerce, Squarespace, Shopify.
I am going to go with D, Shopify. Final answer.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right. And you're correct.
You had me nervous for a second, but I was fairly certain before you gave me the options that was the right one.
You're a Shopify guru. I'm glad you got this one.
Careful with the G word.
Moving on then to question number 8. What file type is best for scaling images without having to worry about losing image quality? A, JPEG, B, PNG, C, SVG, or D, sRGB?
So I'm pretty sure it's not a JPEG. I've never heard of an sRGB, so I think that's a trick one. A PNG is just going to be a file with a transparent background. And then an SVG, if you ever are purchasing graphics, or if you're ever buying a design, like a pre-made design, it usually is going to come in an SVG file type. And I believe the reason for that is so that way you're going to be able to scale it, so that way you don't lose any image quality. And so I'm going to save my lifeline here, and I'm going to go with C, SVG. Final answer.
SVG as your final answer.
Yes.
You're correct.
That's amazing.
You explained that perfectly also. SVG stands for Scalable Vector Graphic. So like you said, yeah, you can make it as big or as little as you want, and it won't lose that quality.
Awesome.
Wow, you're doing really good here.
Yeah, we're trying.
Moving on then to question number 9. Still gonna get a little bit tougher. What printing method allows you to print designs on almost any fabric type? Sublimation, UV printing, direct to garment, direct to film.
So I'm pretty sure it's not going to be C, direct to garment. I don't know if this is. I don't think D, direct to film, is actually a real thing. I could be wrong, so don't come at me in the comments of the video. I'm not an expert on how things are actually printed. UV printing, I potentially could be the answer, but I don't see that term a lot. And I know sublimation is used, for lots of different things. So I'm going to go with A, sublimation. Final answer.
A, sublimation. Are you sure? Final answer.
Yes.
Okay. So Unfortunately, that is the incorrect answer.
Oh man, is it UV?
No.
What? Is it the one I said wasn't real?
So the answer is actually direct to film.
Oh my goodness.
And so it's a relatively new way of printing, DTF printing in print on demand here. But
okay, so I've heard of DTF abbreviated, but not direct to film.
So maybe in that sense, we tricked you because it wasn't abbreviated.
Yeah, it's used a lot with like posters and canvases lately.
So DTF, you actually can use it on different shirt fabrics too, whether it's cotton, polyester. And so it's very versatile in that sense. Yeah.
Sure.
So, you know, but you did absolutely amazing today. I mean, 9 questions.
9 questions, yeah. Almost there.
Yeah, they're not easy questions. So nothing to be ashamed of course. How are you feeling after all of these?
I had fun. Thank you for inviting me. I am a little bit not concerned. I wish I got farther, to be honest. The old, when I was in high school, I was the type that would debate with the teachers. I almost want to like debate you guys in the sense, I don't know that it's an objective question. I think it was kind of a subjective question because I'm sure there's products that maybe direct to film couldn't print on, and sublimation, you know, you can print on a lot, almost any, you know, almost any is kind of a subjective term. You know, I get it. You know, I'm here to play by the rules, but just for the people watching, you know, those are some of the thoughts that I have on that question.
So almost any fabric.
Oh yeah.
Right. But
sure.
So sublimation typically is going to be on things like mugs or something like that, AOP products. But yeah, and you know, maybe we should relook this question. But
no, you guys are good.
Thanks
you guys
for
are
playing
good.
along.
I'm just sad that I didn't get to 15. You guys are good.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having us, Joe. I hope you had a great time. I hope you learned something at least too. And
yeah,
of course, I hope
great.
our viewers learned something. Yeah.
Thank you so much. This was fun. This was honestly pretty nerve-wracking, to be honest. My heart has been like beating through my chest on each question. Like I really wanted to win today. So I had fun. Thank you for having me. And this was awesome.
Thank you so much then for being with us, and we'll see you next time.
All right. See you later.
So Joe made it all the way to question 9, which is actually pretty good. I mean, these questions are not easy, and they're just everything POD related. So how did you guys do? Did you get all 9 questions right? Let us know how you did down in the comments. And if you like this little trivia game, give us a thumbs up, and of course, subscribe to Printify.